to walk. You used to walk here. In the day of long ago. He said, travel there. And when you travel there, you find rest for your soul. In other words, he says, you need to go back to what used to work. So some of us grew up with old time singing, old songs, 100s. And we went to Bible study. We went to Sunday school. We went to youth Bible study and training. And some of us understood that no matter what our life looked like, we didn't have to ask the question to our parents, are we going to church? It was automatic. Anybody remember those days? You didn't ask your mother, your grandmother if we were going to church. It was, you know, if you open your mouth and point your lips to say that, you might have got slapped in the mouth. Ask me if we going to church. What kind of foolishness? You know, we got a new word around here, foolery. We'll find it in Webster. It's just something we call. My brother was at he said it first. And I came back and told Sharon Bledsoe, her new married name, and I came back here and I said, my brother used this term. I said, I think I like that. Can't find it in Webster, but it sure sounds good. Say, this foolery. Coming in with this foolery. So somebody told me you shed enough time in church, it'd be a word bastard. So foolery. Here we go. But it is, if you come in with that craziness, your mom or your grandmother would straighten you out. Say, don't come in with that. You know we're going to church. And if you ask, why are we going to church? You're going to get in trouble again. It's just what we did. And it didn't kill us. Am I telling the truth? And some of us, when we were kids, we went to church. See, I didn't grow up necessarily in church, but I know what that looked like. My parents sent us to church sometime. It wasn't mandatory. I had a conversation with a parent this morning. And this parent was grateful that their kids are in church and serving God. And comparing his kids to, you know, what other kids look like that don't go to church. They don't have church is an option for them. And I say, how many times have I said that over the years? That if you don't bring your kids up in church and it's not important to you, it becomes an option. And when they become old enough to make their own decisions, you're going to say, we're going to church. I say, well, Mom, I'll see y'all later. I'm not going to church today. You know, especially if they stayed out all night long. You know, they got off on Friday, they went to club Friday night, and went back to the club on Saturday night, and they stayed out there all night long into the morning, and you talking about going to church. I'm trying to get that foolery. Yeah, you got me here. No, because you go to church, Mom, pray for me, and I'm going to go to bed because I'm tired. And because the church wasn't that important. It became an option. Am I making sense yet? But because what's important to you, you support. Now let me say it again. What's important to you, you will support. So some of us love scandal. I don't care what's going on, I'm going home to see scandal. They only get a number? Okay, whatever the latest thing is. Because I don't watch that other stuff really. I used to. I thought it was, scandal had my attention for a while. And then I snapped and realized that's just a part of our history. We've been doing that for a long time. Ain't nothing to do with that one. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. So I spend a whole lot of my time with that. But whatever is important to you, you'll spend your time with it. Am I telling the truth yet? And so if our kids grow up thinking that church is optional, then they associate God with church, then God also becomes. For real though. Have you ever talked to the generation now who don't go to church and don't see why you go? Come on. There's some kids who now don't believe that God is a real entity. He's a figment of some of y'all imagination. He's not real. Anyway, God is somebody we read in the history book. He's not real. I mean, back in the day, all civilization had some form of God. So that's just ancient stuff. Why y'all still trying to do that? We don't do that no more. Because we have taught them it's optional. But when you get in trouble, when you need a friend, I go to the rock. Anybody in here? Kind of like the old saying goes, say, give me that old time religion. It was good enough for my mama. It was good enough for me. Anybody in here? So we have to go back to things that used to work. Anybody know that prayer still works? If you ever get sick, pray. The man James said, if you're afflicted, pray. If you're sick, he said, call for the elders of the church. And come on here. And they'll pray for you. But why? Because prayer still works. Just a little talk with Jesus makes it. Anybody know what I just said? So that's old school. That's old time. That's going back to something we used to do. I'm a believer of doing things that we used to do. But it's kind of hard to put the genie back in the bottle. She's been out now. He's been out now. Kind of hard. When I was growing up, they used to have this cartoon thing called, I think it was a lamp. He had a little lamp he would rub, and the genie would come out like smoke and come up out of that thing. I ain't talking about dreaming genie. I'm talking about this little lamp. And he was out. One time was a bad genie. He came out, he said, I ain't going back in there. And that's kind of like our lifestyle. We are out now. We're not trying to go back. We're God-free. No, you missed it. Not just godless. We are God-free. And so we're not trying to go back and be under bondage of this some religious indoctrination. I'm not trying to get no God. I'm cool. I'm fine where I am. And people who serve God are in bondage. You're not free if you're serving God. Well, my Bible says if any man be in Christ, he's a new creature. But it also says if the Son sets you free, you're free indeed. So I don't know where they get that from. That just means that they don't want to be subject to a God who's over you. And I don't know about you, but we have to be subject to somebody. Can you imagine our world without any laws whatsoever? People do whatever they want to do. Can you imagine our world like that? I mean, there are people now who live in any kind of life that will come and rob you, will kick your door in and take your stuff from you and won't think nothing about it. But what do you think if everybody was on that page? Women couldn't go to the store because some maniac would always snatch them in the woods and make it out or somewhere. You ain't going to talk back to me. People just shoot you for no reason. But I tell you what, the problem is we're taking God out of everything. We took him and took the prayer out of school. They start taking him off the money with God we trust. Some cars now don't have that anymore. They don't, because they're trying to remove God from our society. But I want to tell you, just like God spoke to the Israelites through the prophet Jeremiah, he said, go back to the old path. He said, I'll send you directions. Go back to it. He said, but you know what you said? I don't want the old path. I don't want this old foggy stuff. Am I making sense here? I don't want the things my mother, my grandparents did. I don't want that. It didn't get them anywhere. No, I want this new modern stuff. I want to live a modern life. I don't want to live the lifestyle that God has mandated for my life. I want to tell you, if you learn to live the way God wants you to live, you won't have as many troubles. Not to say you won't have no troubles at all, because trouble is a part of the human experience. I tag it every time. Anytime I have trouble, hashtag human experience. Death, hashtag human experience. Yeah, I lost my job. Hashtag human experience. Anybody here with me? I want to tell you that nothing that you go through in life is something new. It's a part of the human experience. Somebody have already gone through it. If you haven't, it might be your first rodeo. It's not somebody's first. Somebody already been through this. And so God is saying to his people, yeah, trouble is coming, and you need to get prepared for it. I can't get you prepared for the trouble that's coming because you're not listening to anything I'm saying to you. Y'all okay? So he says to the prophet, he said, go and tell them, go stand in the ways. Go stand in the crossways. Stand in the junctures. Go stand in the way. And when you stand there, don't stay there just to stand. He said, stand there and see. Stand there and observe. Stand and look at the various ways people are living and traveling and walking in life. He said, take a good look at it. He said, and then I want you to find some wise people and ask them, where is the right way? What's the right path? And the problem with the generation, we don't want to know what that is. I'm good.
And she's ignoring.
If everybody say I'm good, no good, well, you got all kinds of problems. You ain't as good as you say you are. Am I telling the truth yet? If I start lying, you tell me, Pastor, that's a lie. Man. I'm just kidding. Don't try to disturb me like that. Tell me after church. Because that wasn't the truth. Tell me after church. Don't do it now. I can see y'all. Hold up, Pastor. That ain't true. Now don't do that, okay? I know who I got. I know got y'all in here. Some of y'all would do that too. All right. Here we go. Good News Bible. It said, the Lord said to his people, stand at the crossroads and look. As for the ancient path, the old path, and where the best road is, walk in it, and you will live in peace. But they said, no, we will not. Then the Lord appointed watchmen to listen for the trumpet warning. But they said, we will not listen. So the Lord said, listen, you nation, and learn what is going to happen to my people. Listen, earth, as punishment for all their scandal. No.
We're talking about Romans 12. We're talking about taking inventory.
He said, I am bringing ruins on these people because they have rejected my teaching and have not obeyed my word.
Did I take good inventory?
He said, go stand in the crossway and ask. He said, because of their schism. Their schism. He said, trouble is coming. He said, but they don't know to follow my leadership. If they learn to follow my leadership, then they won't have the problems that they have. But they've made up their mind, I don't want this old stuff. I don't want this stuff that God is telling me to do. He said, but trouble is coming. He said, when trouble comes, what are you going to do? But he said, stand in the old way. Stand in the path. Look at it. Go back to your King James Version. He said, thus said the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old path. Where is the good way? And walk therein. And you shall find rest for your soul. But they say, we will not walk therein. We don't want to do it. He said, also I've set watchmen. For us today, you say, well, we don't have no watchmen. That was ancient days. They put soldiers up in the tower looking over the land to see if the enemy was approaching. Well, your watchman today is the man of God, the preacher, the woman of God, the pastor, the overseer. And he says, I've given you pastors after my own heart. But I don't want to hear that. Man, have y'all ever had a conversation? You know what pastor said? Yeah, I heard what he said, but nah. You know what? It's not only you. It's in the body across the land. People could hear a word. God will give your leader a word. You're like, man, that was serious, but I can't do that right now. Anybody in here? And it might bring a little of conviction, but you're just not convinced that I need to do that. So he said, I've given you watchmen so that when they see the trouble coming, they would blow the trumpet. They would have warned you of certain danger. But you say, I won't listen to that. I'm not trying to hear that. Pastor say the end of time is coming. They've been saying that for years. The end ain't here yet. You know, the world's coming to an end someday. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. We always try to rationalize when we don't want to do something. It's got to be a better way to do this than what they say. No, it's the old way. I was mindful of, well, of course, I looked at the word pad here in this particular verse. And it means to, it says a beaten track. I thought, okay, a beaten track. The word means a beaten track. It means a well-used trail. I can relate to that. I think about a week or so ago, we went to South Park, and we were going to visit somebody in South Park, and there was an apartment complex that we passed by, and there was a General Dollar store on the corner. They had literally knocked out the boards in the fence of the apartment complex and made a trail to go to the General Dollar. Have anybody ever seen that before? And instead of going all the way around through the gate that was created, they created their own pathway. So no wonder they asked, where is the good way? And where is the right way? Because the Bible says there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof is the ways of death. So some things seem proper. Am I doing okay here? Some things seem right, seems proper, but it just might not be God's way. So that's why we need to hear our pastor, hear our leader, hear the ministers of God, and pray, hearing God, because they're only going to push you towards God. Every time a preacher preaches, their message ought to be pushing you towards God. Cause you to talk to God, cause you to draw close to God, cause you to pray to God, cause you to believe in God, cause you to wait on God. Anybody in here? And so that's why you need to hear it. And the Bible says, how can you believe? In fact, you can't even believe without a preacher. How can you hear without a preacher? You can't even hear what the Bible says. So when you find these trails, some trails are man-made, but God had nothing to do with it. That trail they took got them to the General Dollar. And I guess, you notice something else about the apartment complex. Eventually, what they did, they put a metal bar up there and made it a doorway. I guess they got tired of replacing those plants. Kind of like back then. You know, somebody like, I ain't going all the way around that front. I'm going to kick that thing out and go straight out here. I'm going to KFC. Anybody in here? And so let's ask, where is the path? Where is the way? Where's the proper way to do this? And the proper way is when you're in trouble, pray. When you're going through life, pray. When you get up in the morning, pray. I probably talked too long on this already. But it says it's a well-used trail. And I thought about how many trails I've walked through in my lifetime. It also means a pathway, a course, a route, or a way. When the Lord is talking to them, He said, go and look for that old path. Look for the right way. And then when you find it, the key is to walk in it. Don't just find it. Don't just discover it. Find it and begin to walk in it. In my closing here, I thought about David. Thought about how when David was coming to bring his brothers lunch one day and out in the battlefield. And while they was on the battlefield, this great big old guy by the name of Elias was threatening the armies of Israel and saying all kinds of things. And David says, y'all don't want to fight him? Say, I'll go fight him. And the Bible says, Saul called him in the tent and said, you going to go fight him? I'll fight him. And Saul gave David his armor. He took off his armor, got his armor, and said, put it on David. Kind of like if I took my jacket out and put it on my grandson. You know, I don't care how many times he pulled it up, it's still going to be too big for him. If you try to walk, he's going to trip over it. Anybody in? So they took, he said, and so David says, your armor has not been tried. He says, I can't use your armor because it has not been tried. You know what David did? David went back to something he was familiar with. Your armor looks pretty good, but I'm going to go back to what I know. Sometimes I don't know who I'm talking to. You better go back to what you know. And so David says, I got this. The Bible says David went to a brook, got him 5 stones, got him a sling.